Honey, pour yourself a fresh glass, make it a double, because the story I am about to tell you is going to make your blood boil so hot you could cook pasta in it. I am literally shaking just reading this submission. We are talking biblical levels of betrayal, gaslighting that deserves an Olympic gold medal, and a revenge arc so cold it practically freezes hell over. You think you've got family drama? You think your Thanksgiving was awkward? Wait until you hear what this man did when his entire bloodline decided to stab him in the back. Let's get right into the mess. Don't be petty. They're in love. You need to move on. That is what my mother said to me. Not a stranger, not a troll on the internet, my own mother. She said this to me exactly 48 minutes after I found out that the woman I was supposed to marry in 6 months was sleeping with my brother. But oh, it gets worse. She didn't just tell me to get over it. She told me I wasn't allowed to come to Christmas dinner because my presence would make the new couple uncomfortable. Let me back up, because if I don't explain the context, you're going to think I'm making this up. Nobody is this evil, right? Wrong. I'm the spare. You know the dynamic? I have a brother, let's call him Liam. Liam is the golden boy. The sun, the moon, and the stars rise and set on Liam's perfectly chiseled jawline. Since we were kids, he was the athlete, the charmer, the one who could set the living room rug on fire, and my parents would blame the rug for being flammable. Me, I'm just there. I'm the reliable one, the one who fixes the Wi-Fi, the one who drives grandma to her appointments, the one who actually holds down a steady job while Liam finds himself for the 10th time. I made peace with that years ago. I stayed in my lane. I found a girl, Jessica. Jessica was perfect, or so I thought. We were together for 3 years, engaged for 1. She was the one thing in my life that felt like mine. She wasn't a hand-me-down from Liam. She wasn't something I had to share, or so I thought. The vibes started getting weird last November. You know that feeling? It's primal. It's like the hair on the back of your neck stands up and screams danger, but your brain tries to rationalize it. Jessica suddenly got glued to her phone. I'm talking, take it into the shower glued. If I walked into the room, she'd flip the screen down so fast it would make a cracking sound. I asked her about it once, trying to be casual, like, "Who's blowing up your phone, babe?" She just rolled her eyes and said, "It's just the girls' group chat. Stop being paranoid." And because I'm an idiot who trusts people, I let it go. She's social. I'm not. Fine. Then Liam comes back into town. He'd been away working on a project, which is family code for unemployed and blowing through dad's money. But now he was back for the holidays. Naturally, the red carpet was rolled out. My parents were ecstatic. And suddenly, Jessica was very helpful. "Oh, I'll go help Liam get settled," she'd say. "I'll show him that new bar downtown. You know you hate crowds anyway." I didn't think it was weird because my family has no boundaries. We've always been a pile-on kind of group, but then it became every other day. I'd call her to ask about dinner, and I'd hear that distinct booming laugh of his in the background. One night, I called her and asked if I could come over. She gave me this rushy, breathless voice. "No, honestly, I'm just helping your mom with some holiday prep. It's boring. You'd hate it. I'll see you tomorrow." 30 minutes later, she posts a story on Instagram. It's a picture of 2 cocktails at a dim table, no faces. But in the corner of the frame, draped over the chair, was a jacket, a very specific vintage leather bomber jacket with a tear on the left shoulder, Liam's jacket. I stared at that photo for an hour. I felt sick, like physically nauseous, but I gaslit myself. I thought maybe they just grabbed a drink after helping mom. Maybe they're planning a surprise for me. Don't be that jealous, insecure guy. So I waited. I waited for the other shoe to drop. And honey, it didn't drop. It was thrown at my head. My family has a massive group chat for holiday planning. Usually it's just memes and my dad asking how to turn up the volume on his iPad. But mom starts organizing Christmas dinner. We have hosted at my parents' house every single year for 30 years. It is non-negotiable. I get a private message from my mom, not a call, a text. "Honey, given the recent developments, we think it's best if you sit Christmas out this year. It's going to be too awkward and we don't want a scene." I'm reading this and I'm thinking, recent developments? Did I miss a newsletter? I text back, "What are you talking about?" She doesn't reply, so I go to the group chat. And there it is. Scrolling back, I see messages I missed while I was at work. My dad saying, "We just need to be mature about this." Liam saying, "I know it's tough, but the heart wants what it wants." And Jessica, my fiancée, my Jessica, she texts in the family chat, I'm sorry it had to happen this way, but I can't lie anymore. I call my mom. My hands are shaking so bad I almost dropped the phone. She answers on the second ring, sounding annoyed, like I'm a telemarketer interrupting her soap opera. Mom, what is going on? I ask. And she delivers the line that killed the person I used to be. Don't be petty. They're in love. You need to move on. Silence. I literally couldn't speak. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. Who is in love? I whisper. Liam and Jessica, she says matter-of-factly. They have a connection. It's serious. You should be happy for your brother. He's finally settling down. Happy for him? Happy for him? Then I hear Liam in the background. He must have been right there. He grabs the phone and says, look, man, she chose the better man. Just take the L and don't make this weird for mom. Take the L. Like my life, my engagement, my future was a game of Fortnite. My dad sends me a direct message right then. Stop acting like a victim. You were never good enough for her anyway. You're too stiff. She needs someone with life. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just hung up the phone. I sat there in my apartment surrounded by boxes because, get this, I was packed. I was 90% packed because I was supposed to be moving into a new place with Jessica after New Year's. I grabbed my keys, threw my essentials into my car, and drove to a friend's house. I sat in his driveway for 10 minutes, just staring at the steering wheel, numb. I sent one single message to the group chat before I deleted it forever. You have all shown me exactly who you are. Thanks for making it so damn easy to cut every one of you off. Then I blocked them, all of them. Liam, Jessica, mom, dad, even the aunts and uncles who were liking the messages. Blocked, gone. If you are already shook, if you are already screaming at your screen, hit that like button right now because I haven't even gotten to the petty part yet. You think I just walked away and cried? Oh, no, 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 no. I spent the first week in a daze. I was living out of a suitcase in my buddy's spare room. I felt like a ghost. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them. I heard from a cousin, one of the few I hadn't blocked yet, that they all had a great Christmas. Liam and Jessica showed up holding hands. My mom posted a photo on Facebook captioned, "So happy for these two. True love wins." I was just the placeholder. I was the warm-up act. I realized then that my parents didn't just prefer Liam, they actively viewed me as an accessory to his life. I was only valuable when I was helping him. And now that he wanted my fiancé, well, I was just in the way. But here is where they messed up. They forgot who I am. Remember how I said I was the reliable one? The one who handled the boring stuff? Well, being the boring one means you handle the paperwork. You handle the bills. You handle the assets. I started digging. I pulled up every file, every email, every receipt I had stored in my cloud, and I remembered something huge. My parents own a second property, a nice little 2-bedroom cottage about 10 minutes from their main house. It was an investment property. 5 years ago, they wanted to refinance it to get a lower rate and pull some cash out to bail Liam out of some debt he racked up in Vegas. But their credit was shot at the time because, surprise, surprise, they're bad with money. They begged me to co-sign. They needed my credit score and my income history. I, being the good, stupid son I was, said yes. But the bank required me to be on the deed. So technically, legally, and on every piece of paper that matters, I own 33% of that house. And guess who has been living in that house rent-free for the last 6 months? Liam. And guess who just moved in with him? Jessica. My parents were paying the utilities. Liam was paying nothing. I was getting nothing. I sat up in that spare bed, my eyes burning, and a smile actually crept onto my face. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of a man who just found the nuclear launch codes. I also went through my bank statements. Jessica and I had been splitting costs for the upcoming move. Deposits, furniture orders, down payments on vendors for the wedding. She kept saying, "Oh, I'll Venmo you my half when my bonus hits," or "I'll transfer it next week." I tallied it up. She owed me just over $4,000. I wasn't going to slash tires. I wasn't going to throw paint. I was going to hit them where it hurts the only people who care about appearances more than anything, their wallet and their reputation. I drafted an email. I didn't send it immediately. I waited until 2 a.m. on a Tuesday just to make sure it was the first thing they saw when they woke up. Subject, notice of intent to sell. Dear Mom and Dad, since I am no longer considered family, I am no longer interested in holding family assets. I am exercising my right as a co-owner to force the sale of the property at address. You have 30 days to buy out my share at current market value, or I will file a partition action to force the sale on the open market. This is not a negotiation. Also, please inform the current tenants they need to prepare for inspections. Then I texted Jessica. I sent her a PDF invoice, itemized, down to the cent. You have 48 hours to transfer $4,250 for your share of the canceled wedding expenses and furniture you are currently using. If I don't see the notification, I'm filing in small claims court and I will be subpoenaing your text history as evidence. Ball is in your court. I hit send, and then I turned my phone off and went to sleep. The best sleep I'd had in a month. Update 1, 2 weeks later. Make sure you are subscribed because the explosion I am about to describe is going to clear your skin and water your crops. I turned my phone back on the next morning and it nearly vibrated off the table. 17 missed calls from my dad, 12 from my mom, 6 from Liam, and a string of texts that ranged from begging to threatening. Dad, are you insane? You can't do this. Mom, we are family. How can you be so cruel? Liam, I'm going to kill you. Answer the phone. I didn't answer. I went to work. I sat at my desk, did my spreadsheets, and drank my coffee. At lunch, I checked my voicemail. My dad's voice was shaking. Mark, listen to me. We can't afford to buy you out right now. All our cash is tied up. You know this. If you force a sale, Liam will be on the street. Do not do this. I didn't reply. I just forwarded the email to the family lawyer, who I know they use and who I also know charges them by the hour. That evening, I'm at my friend's place heating up some leftovers when there is a banging on the door. Not a knock, a pounding. It's Liam. Of course, it's Liam. He found out where I was staying because I hadn't blocked one of his idiot friends. My buddy, bless his heart, opens the door and tries to stop him, but Liam pushes past him. He storms into the kitchen, face red, veins popping out of his neck. You think you're funny? He screams. You think you can just kick me out of my house? I didn't even stand up. I stayed seated, looked him up and down and said, it's not your house, Liam. It's our house, and I'm cashing out. He lunged at me. I'm not a fighter, but I've got a lot of repressed rage. I stood up and shoved him back, hard. He stumbled into the counter. She doesn't want you, he spat at me. You're doing this because you're a jealous little loser. I don't want her, I said calmly, and I don't want to support you anymore. You're a grown man. Pay rent or get out. My friend stepped in then, holding his phone up. I am recording this and the cops are on speed dial. Get out. Liam kicked a chair over, called me a slur I won't repeat, and stormed out. 10 minutes later, my mom texts me. Liam told me you attacked him. I can't believe I raised a son who would hit his own brother. Call off the sale or we will never forgive you. I replied, if he comes near me again, I'm getting a restraining order, and the clock is ticking, 29 days. As for Jessica, she tried to play dumb. She texted back saying, I don't have that kind of money right now. Can we work out a payment plan? I said, no. She said, you're being so petty. I thought you loved me. I sent her a screenshot of the small claims court paperwork I had already filled out online. 3 hours later, I got a Venmo notification. $4,150. Apparently, she dipped into her honeymoon fund. Update 2, months later, the legal action. So here is where the rubber meets the road. My parents tried everything to stall. They tried to claim I signed the rights over years ago. I didn't. They tried to guilt trip me by sending pictures of me as a baby. Weird flex, but okay. They even had my aunt call me crying, saying I was giving my grandmother heart palpitations with the stress. I told my aunt, then tell your sister to cut the check. They couldn't buy me out. I knew they couldn't. They're leveraged up to their eyeballs, keeping up appearances. So the partition action went through. The court ordered the property to be sold. They had to list it. This meant Liam and Jessica had to allow real estate agents and strangers to walk through their love nest every weekend. I heard from a mutual friend that Jessica was mortified. She had to hide all her stuff. The house was messy because Liam is a slob, and the feedback from the realtor was brutal. They had to lower the price twice. Finally, a buyer put in an offer. It wasn't great, but it was enough to clear the mortgage and leave a little equity. The day the closing was scheduled, Liam called me. He sounded different. Not angry, just defeated. Mark, please, he said, I have nowhere to go. Jessica and it's been hard. If we lose this place, she's going to leave. I know she will. And in that moment, I realized something. He knew she was only with him because he was the winner. If he was homeless and broke, the shine would wear off real fast. I said, that sounds like a personal problem. You should have thought about that before you slept with my fiancé. I hung up. The house sold. I got my check. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a nice five-figure sum, enough to put a down payment on a place of my own, far, far away from them. Final update, the karma. It has been 4 months since the house sold. My parents are devastated. Losing that rental property didn't just hurt Liam, it messed up their retirement plans. They lost a steady stream of passive income. Even though they weren't collecting rent from Liam, the asset value was part of their portfolio. Now they are scrambling. And the lovebirds? Well, folks, you'll be shocked to hear that a relationship built on infidelity and deception didn't survive the pressure of eviction. Jessica left Liam about 3 weeks after they got kicked out. She moved back in with her parents. She blocked Liam on everything. I heard she's already dating some guy she met at a gym. Liam is currently sleeping on a blow-up mattress in my parents' living room. He's 32 years old. And now the silence has broken. The love bombing has started. My mom emails me every other day. We miss you so much. Christmas wasn't the same. Please, you're all we have left. Liam is in a bad place. He needs his brother. My dad texts me, enough is enough. You made your point. You won. Now come home and help us fix this family. Help them fix it. That's rich. They want me to come back and do what I've always done, glue the pieces back together so they can pretend to be a perfect family again. They want me to help Liam get a job. They want me to fix the Wi-Fi. I reply to none of it. I bought a new condo last week. It has a great view of the city. I'm dating again, taking it slow, meeting actual adults who communicate. Yesterday, my dad showed up at my old apartment. He doesn't know I moved. My old roommate texted me, "Dude, your dad is sitting on the stoop crying." I felt a twinge, just a tiny one, because I'm human. But then I remembered the smirk on Liam's face when he said, "She chose the better man." I remembered my mom sneering, "Don't be petty." I texted my roommate back, let him cry. I'm not really sure how to end this because there isn't a big, profound lesson. I didn't learn to forgive. I didn't take the high road. I took the road that protected me. I burned the bridge and I used the light from the flames to see my way out. They wanted a winner and a loser. They just never expected the spare to be the one holding all the cards. So here's my question for you guys in the comments, and I really want to know. My mom says I ruined the family over a girl. I say I saved myself from a lifetime of disrespect. Am I the jerk for not picking up the phone now that they're begging, or should I let them rot in the mess they made? Let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because if they try to sue me, you know I'll be back with receipts. Stay toxic, friends.